Are you going to respond to the?
Yes.
Okay.
How am I going to know when it's over? Say goodbye. See you next time.
Yep. Say,
Okay.
you know, we'll
And
look
then you'll
forward
cut it
to.
off then.
Yep. So
Okay.
you'll just sit there and, or you talked about also just getting up and leaving.
Oh,
So
yeah.
leave it up to you. Do you want to sit there? If you want to just get up and leave. See you next time. Off the busy day.
Hasta la vista.
Linda got another thought.
Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to Coffee with Clark. This is our first session to sit down and ask Clark questions. Clark, who is Clark? I'm Clark. Clark Brekke. I'm President and CEO of Goodwill Industries of the Inland Northwest. We are a nonprofit organization that serves Eastern Washington and Northern Idaho. And if you don't know much about Goodwill, we accept your wonderful donations and we turn them into jobs and opportunities for people who are building independence. So it's a well-oiled machine. We've been around since 1939, our Goodwill has, and within the whole network, which has been around almost 120 years. So welcome, and I hope you enjoy your time. We're here today because we do receive some questions through our social media platforms, and I wanted to personally answer those for you today, and also tackle some of maybe the misunderstandings and myths that are out there. So without further ado, let's go for it. And hopefully you have your favorite beverage with you. I'm not going to ask you what your beverage is. I have my coffee here, so I'm going to take a sip real quick. All right, so let's get to the questions. Here we go. All right, so here are my list of questions. Again, these came through Instagram and our other accounts, so at least most of them did, and then we added some too. So here we go. Question number one, does the money, let's see if I can rip this off, does the money stay local? So yes, all the funds that we raise in Eastern Washington and Northern Idaho stay local for local programs and services. And we have a variety of workforce and family services that serve individuals who are looking for that hand up. We have programs that are serving our wonderful veterans who have come back and deserve our honor and support, as well as other people who are striving for independence. So good question, but yes, the money stays local. Do you pay less than minimum wage? Well, the answer to that is no, we don't pay less than minimum wage at Goodwill. So I know that a lot of people were wondering that, and currently everyone that comes to Goodwill is paid minimum wage or higher, including the individuals that come in and build their work skills through our programs and then move into the communities that we serve. They are also paid minimum wage to start. Okay, next question. How many employees do we have? We have approximately 600 employees in Eastern Washington and Northern Idaho. And each, I'd actually like to refer to them as team members, because at our Goodwill, there really is no one individual or one position that's more important than the other. So my hat's off to all our team members who show up to work with heads and heart every day and serve our mission so well. Next question. What were you, I don't know about this one, what were you doing before you worked for Goodwill? Good question. So before I came to Goodwill, I was working for a national retailer, and I kind of cut my teeth in big box retail. And then after a while, I thought, I'm looking for something with a little more purpose. And I answered an ad in the newspaper. Yeah, we still looked in newspapers back then, and found an ad for Goodwill. And they hired me to be their retail sales manager for their territory, over 9 stores. And currently we have built that. Goodwill operates 14 stores in Eastern Washington, Northern Idaho. All right, next question. Have you what? Have you always been the CEO? Well, no. I've been the CEO since 2008. The board hired me after a long, wonderful tenure of the previous CEO who had been here 27 years, and she was a real trailblazer. Actually, for statistical purposes, I am only the 5th CEO in the history of our Goodwill Industries. So, and I'm honored to be the CEO and the leader of this wonderful team. Okay, more questions. Hold on. All right. Okay, here we go. Why doesn't your, I don't know, why doesn't your what? Why doesn't your Goodwill use uniform pricing like the Montana Goodwill? So this was a question that we got, I believe, through our Facebook. And this is a really good question. And let me just talk to you real quickly how we price. So we use a good, better, best pricing methodology. And what we try to do is we try to balance the interest and the needs and the wants of the consumer that comes into our store, and then the needs of Goodwill to raise funds to support our programs and services. So some Goodwills use uniform pricing. They'll put all shirts out at one price. We take a different approach at our Goodwill, and we say, what is the best price for the consumer that comes into our Goodwill, the most fair price, and that's how we approach it. So one way is not better than the other, just a little different. So next question. Why are prices high in the Ponderay store? So all of our stores use the same pricing methods and system, and so they should be fairly consistent from store to store. But we really appreciate the question, and when these questions come in, what we do is we get together with the team and we go in and we evaluate it to make sure that we're being truthful and fair to our customers in all our facilities equally. So good question. What happens to items that don't sell in your stores? Well, we do have a number of items that are donated by our generous donors that don't sell in our stores. And so what do we do with them? So after we pull them from the stores, if they don't sell on our floor, or they don't make it to our floor, they cycle into what we call our outlet store. Our outlet store is located in Spokane on Front Street off the Trent, off the Hamilton exit. And you can go and actually buy those items that were pulled from our store by the pound. So whereas in our store, we put price tags on each item, you can go to that store and sift through cartons and cartons and tables of merchandise and just pull out what you want and go out and pay by the pound. And we have other items as well, not just clothing, but different housewares and items to that effect. So visit our outlet store. And then what doesn't sell in there, we work with third-party vendors to capture as much as we can out of the product to return back to our mission. So that's our goal. Thanks, good question. Why should I donate to Goodwill? Well, first of all, thank you very much for donating to Goodwill. And we're glad that for people who do donate to Goodwill, that you consider us a worthy place to donate. And so here's something to remember. When you donate to Goodwill and we process your donations and retail those donations and bring in our funds, that 85 cents of every dollar that we raise goes to programs and services. And one way that you can determine the efficiency and effectiveness of a nonprofit organization is to go online and do some research, and you'll figure out very quickly what nonprofit entities are most efficient, and the ones that best use your donations. And I can tell you that Goodwill is certainly at the top, and that's how we run our organization. So thank you for donating to Goodwill. All right, do you what? Do you own Goodwill? So, wow, I don't own Goodwill. In fact, I know that there are some rumors out there on the internet that someone owns Goodwill, and in fact makes millions of dollars for themselves each year off of this Goodwill that they own and they created. Well, that's really not true. Goodwill was established again 120 years ago by a minister, a wonderful social entrepreneur who wanted to help those in his parish. So he did that, and his idea was this. We need to help people with a chance, not charity. And so he thought that was the best approach, and what he did is he created this entrepreneurial system whereby he went and he gathered donations from generous donors in wealthier Boston areas, brought those back to his parish, and then used those items, and at that time they repaired the items, and the individuals that needed and were able to repair and work then earned wages. And so that whole model of self-help and waste into wages was born, as he would say. Okay, good. Okay, we got one more. So we did get a question from Jonathan, and it is, do you really help? So yes, Jonathan, thank you for the question. We do help, and let me tell you how we help. So one of my favorite stories is of one of our employees in Post Falls. This individual came to us after having a very difficult time holding down a job. In fact, when she finally came to Goodwill, that was the first job she held that was more than 6 months. When she was in her 50s, her parents took her down to the Department of Mental Health, and she was finally diagnosed with a mental health issue. She came to Goodwill, and she, with the help of our wonderful service providers and our staff and our team that wrapped around her, she was very successful. So today she still works at Goodwill, and she was able to qualify for her own home through a rural program because she was able to stay in her job, and she does such a great job for us for greater than 5 years. So she's still with us today, and that's just one example how we help, Jonathan. So, but there are many, many examples. We have programs that serve the most vulnerable in so many ways. One of them is our veterans program, where we have outreach teams in our communities, in our rural communities, going out, seeking out veterans who need assistance and need help into housing and to and other areas that they need our support, and we need to step up and help them build their own independence. So thanks for the question. Okay. And yes, and also as far as numbers, just since 2008, we've served more than 60,000 people in Eastern Washington and Northern Idaho, individuals. So we do a lot of good. Good question, thank you. All right, so let's go on to the next group of questions, and here we go. Okay, so my friend said Goodwill is not the best place to donate because you're not a real charity. Well, I can assure you that Goodwill is a real charity. We're a registered charity. We're a 501c3, and any funds that we bring in do not go to stockholders or any private person. Any funding that we get is raised for programs and services for the community. And any individual, including myself, that works here is not an owner of this company. In fact, we have a volunteer board of directors that governs our company, Goodwill, and they're very, very talented, and they care very much and want to see Goodwill succeed, just like the staff. So, good question. Thanks. All right, next question. Is there a client or employee you're particularly proud of? Well, I mentioned one before, and that's Marjorie. But we have just a number of team members that I am so proud to work with. This last year was a very difficult year with COVID, and we had to pivot very quickly, and we relied on all of our team members with their heads and hearts to support us while we moved through that process. We came out strong Goodwill, and we're here to serve now, and we're strong enough to serve into the future. So we're very, very excited. Good question. Okay, next question. How much money actually goes to help people? So as I mentioned before, of all the funds we raise, 85 cents of every dollar goes directly into programs and services at Goodwill that serve the community. So our Goodwill does our best to raise as much as we can while still benefiting the community and offering a good value to our shoppers. And we are entrusted to use those funds wisely, and our team members do that in a very, very deliberate way. So next question. What is the one thing you wish people would not donate? Well, occasionally we get donations that we can't use. And so I would say like small children, but normally we don't get small children. But sometimes we've had puppies, kittens, bearded dragons, small cows. Someone wanted to donate a herd of cattle. So we really can't use pets. So please contact the local Humane Society if you want to do that. We do not, and we're not able to sell firearms. So please, if you would like to dispense of those, take them to a pawn shop or find a way to sell them. And there's some other items that we don't sell. There are some items that we only specifically sell online, but that's only after we've worked to identify what it is and make sure that it's appropriate to sell online. So, good question. So I am supposed to remind people to enter the drawing for coffee. And in order to win your coffee card, you have to be online to win. So our team standing by will help determine who the winner of the coffee card is today. So, all right. Last question. Do you have any pets? Well, I'm not sure where that question came from. I do have a pet. I have a pet cat. And so he was a rescue cat. He's missing most of his teeth, but he's a sweet boy. I hope to get a dog someday, but you know, as you know, and as everybody knows, they're wonderful best friends, but they do require a lot of time. And right now, I am busy, and so I recognize that sticking with a cat is about the best I can do for now. So, thanks for your questions. This was a good, I think, first trial run. I'm hoping that I can get more questions sent in by our media channels. Go on to social media, direct message to us. Our next session will be the May 19th, so please join us. I had a lot of fun. I hope you learned something. I certainly learned something. I'm not too fond of this chair, so you know, I guess we learned something. So, but thanks for joining me. Thanks for supporting Goodwill. And again, oh, we're going to do the drawing. Hold on a second. And we're doing the drawing. It's taking some time. Okay.
Remind people to enter their names.
Oh, please enter your names when you're entering the drawing. So, okay. So we're working through that. So technical bugs. This is the first time. Again, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining me. And I appreciate your interest in Goodwill Industries. Remember, we are a caring community enterprise, and we are really here working day in and day out to help people build their independence. And that's what we're all about. So thank you for entrusting us with your donations. We're working very hard every day to ensure that we use those donations wisely, that we maximize the value of those donations in order to support what we do and what you care about, which is helping your neighbors in our communities find and build independence. So I think we have a name. We're still waiting for the name. So if you have questions, please, we have people standing by. Please send in your questions, and I'll take a sip of coffee. That's it. Here we go. Okay. So let's see, what else can I tell you about Goodwill? So we are part of an international organization. There are 155 Goodwills in the United States and Canada, and each of us have our own territories to serve. Goodwill is also located in 12 other countries. So we're an international organization. Last year, we helped about 300,000 people find employment, coach them into employment. We are responsible, Goodwill Industries statistically is responsible for helping with 1 out of every 250 jobs that were awarded in the United States last year. So we have a big hand in workforce development, but we also provide a variety of other services. So if you would like to learn more about us and more about Goodwill, please visit our website at discovergoodwill.org. We've just recently refreshed that, and we'd actually be interested in your perspective and opinions. We do have one more question that's come in. My Goodwill jobs before CEO. Oh boy. Okay, I think we've all worked in the food service industry. So I have been a server. I've been a bus person. I've been in catering. My first job actually was working at a dog show. I was in 6th grade, and I scooped dog residue off the off the ground. And so what a great job it was. What a great learning experience. I think any first job is just something that we all go through, and we all have different stories, but it's important to get us in a cadence so that we can grow and learn. And employment is so important. And we know that a lot of people are struggling to find employment these days, or are in an employment setting where they think, well, I'm not sure this is my purpose, or I want to do something else. And Goodwill can help with that. We have different ways of serving people. So give us a call if you are unemployed, or you can go through our website and sign up for services, and we'll see how we can help you. So thank you. So we do have a winner for our Dutch Bros coffee card. I want to thank my friend Kevin Parker for supplying a coffee card for us. And the winner today is Linda Kraft. So congratulations, Linda, and thanks everybody for joining us. If it was a little wonky today, you know, I'm going to blame it on the chair. But next time, we'll see if we can be a little more polished. Again, we really enjoyed our time together. Thanks for joining us. And again, May 19th, everybody. We'll see you then. Thanks. Take care.